So I was about to welcome everyone to the stream, but I've just looked down at Iracing and there's a big battle in practice going on at the moment. How are we doing, everybody? Welcome in. We are back in GT3s. Oh, yes. And there he is with the fucking tier 1 gifted. George, welcome in, dude. How are we doing? So, just a little premise around that. We had a little bit of a bet last night when we was playing Apex Legends around damage output. George thinking he was going to get within 400 damage of me. What was it, about 1,000 difference, George? Almost. Nah, mate, you're getting back on Apex. How you doing, Adam? Welcome in. So yeah, welcome in. We are at Road Atlanta today in GT3s. Run a couple of GR86 sessions over the last couple of weeks and opted to go back to GT3s today. So we did put a poll out yesterday for 2 tracks, and that's going to be Road Atlanta or Zolder. I think Road Atlanta won by a solid mile. Welcome in, Charlie. Welcome back.
I remember the last time Zolder was really raced.
Oh, I love Zolder. I think it was big on ACC.
Yeah, it was.
I think the only reason I bought it for iRacing was because Porsche Cup was there a couple of seasons ago. And I think Zolder is one of my favourite tracks. It's just one that just doesn't get raced a lot.
It's one of those with picking the tracks. Sometimes it would be nice to have the obscure tracks, but because iRacing likes money, you do the obscure tracks, people won't have them, and then you don't get anyone racing.
Yeah, that's it. So we do have a pretty full grid today. I say full grid, it's busier than what it has been, with the usual culprits also back on track as well. Format is the same. We've got 45 minutes of practice, followed by 15 minutes of an open qualifying session. Then a 1-hour race with a mandatory pit stop due to the 50% fuel cap for the cars. Joined here in commentary and stewarding today by Jacob Reed.
Hello. I am ready to give out some drive throughs.
So yeah, I think we've been making changes to the way we sort of handle penalties and things, which seems to be working. So hopefully that works. Again, GT3 is casting Habdal, almost train tracking across the outside curve of turn 1. Let me just quickly grab that up for you so you can see that. There it is. Thanks for sharing the live, Charlie. You see that okay, yeah?
Yep.
Cool. Welcome in, Skylar. How are we doing? sure what my session events are showing, which they are. A close battle here for first place between Casting Halfdown, Sim and Livingston. Both into the 1:18.4s, a couple of hundredths between them. Welcome in, Daniel Payne. Forward Ward in the McLaren still yet to go out on track. You'd think he would have learnt from his mistakes about not getting practice in for these sessions.
I know, yeah, but we'll see how it goes. It's quite a difficult practice, to be fair. There's a lot of time to be gained just in terms of confidence. If you're not confident here, you lose so much time.
The back end of Sector 1 is probably one of the most trickiest corners on the calendar to get right. That curve really wants to swallow you in, spit you out.
Yeah, I think also coming down the hill, depending on the car setup and conditions, you need to be able to keep it pretty much flat out down that hill, and it's quite difficult to do that. You have to get the line just right. But if you get the line right and you keep it flat out down the hill, there's so much time to be gained. It's like a second.
So we did just watch Casting Halfdown getting a bit loose up and over turn 1 and through turn 2. Thanks for liking the live, Daniel. Let's open up a couple more things that we need for this broadcast. So when you were doing GTs in top split, what sort of lap times were we seeing on your end?
Oh, you're asking me to remember back there. I cannot remember. I think it was like down in 16.
Yeah, I remember watching the stream and I think everyone was getting like 116s and you were struggling to crack a 117.
I think I was getting into the 17s, but I just couldn't crack the 16s or something. I remember it being a tough week that week. I might be a bit better now. I think I was a bit lower Iracing back then. I think it was like 3.5k or something. It was a tough one for me. It was going so well. I almost got to 4.4 on the way to 4.5k, and now I'm back down to 4.1. It's very fun.
Charlie again, struggling to keep the rear end under control. Does keep it out the barrier. So 5 minutes to go in practice. Casting Halfdown topping the timing board. With 6 drivers into the 118s. Track temperature is a little warmer than usual.
I mean, 28, not too bad. on the coolish side actually.
So yeah, this is a evening session as well, so as we get into quali and the race, the sun should start setting.
I think this track at night, I don't think we're going to get into the night here, but this track at night is something else. It's one special event I'm looking forward to doing for the first time this year. It's the
Petit Le Mans, yeah. Yeah, we did it last year. I think it was me, Josh, and I can't remember who joined us for the race last year. But yeah, it was good fun. It's always a challenge here with IMSA as well. It's not really a lot of sort of overtaking opportunity as a higher class driver.
Yeah, the traffic is definitely a big part in it, especially at this track. A lot of the time you see the sends like just after turn 2 and you go down the hill from the GT3s and LMP2s, and it really puts the GT3s offline, and a lot of the time you end in death. But drivers here don't have to worry about that today, so that's one thing on fair play. But they do have to worry about me.
Just getting a couple of things ready. Cool, we've got just over 2 minutes to go. Let's have a quick chat with the drivers and make sure everyone's on board with what the format is today. How are we doing all? So we've got 2 minutes left of practice, and we've got a 15-minute open qualifying session followed by a 1 hour race. So it's a 50% fuel limit on all cars today, so there will be a mandatory pit stop. We've got Jacob Reed stewarding this race as well, looking out for incidents. So if you do have anything you need to raise, feel free to just raise that over comms so we can investigate. I believe it also is a standing start today. I didn't change it, so rip. That should be an interesting one. One thing we'll say is we are streaming live over on Twitch, YouTube and TikTok. If you do want to come take a look, it's Refine Motorsport. And if you want to come and sign up to the new website, refinemotorsport.com as well, where we'll be hosting the leagues and everything going forwards. Anything else that needs to be added? I'm not sure. One thing I will add is safety car procedure. So we will be bringing out safety cars where necessary. There is unlimited fast repairs in this session as well. So if you do need to pit behind the safety car, we will open the pit lane after the first lap behind the safety car, and you'll be given an opportunity to get a wave round to rejoin the back of the pack as well. Anyone that's doing wave rounds, if you can pass on the left, and anyone that's sat behind the safety car sits on the right hand side.
Incident responsibility to Connor DP for fucking up the race and setting a standard start GT3.
Yeah, that was my bad.
I mean, it's going to make it interesting.
Yep. Unless I didn't. Maybe I did. I think I did. Yeah, I think it was just carrying sessions over from GR86's last week.
Well, last week we had a rolling start.
Did we?
Yeah.
Okay, it might be a rolling start. Let me just check that. Let's have a look.
I mean, you boys are going to have some fun if it's standing start in GT3. You better have those clutches, man.
Oh, okay. It is a rolling start, just to confirm. It's a rolling start.
That would have been interesting.
Yep. But that does bring us to the end of practice. Qualifying is just kicking off. Got a couple of drivers out on track at the moment. George Ward's finally decided to come out here in his McLaren and does clip the wall. Definitely goes to show that getting practice in is that's the whole reason why that's there, right?
I mean, 45 minutes surely at that point. You can learn a track to at least stay on it within 45 minutes.
So Karstein, Havdal, first driver out the pits. About to set his first qualifying lap. Got a lot of Ferraris, Porsches and McLarens again today.
I'm surprised at the amount of Porsche. I don't remember the Porsche being I don't really remember the Porsche being strong anywhere, but it's interesting to see the Porsche fan club still out in force. Interesting, obviously, with the open qualifying, multiple cars on track. Not something we usually do in iRacing. We'll see whether we have anyone playing any games with Slipstream, like in Sector 1 and Sector 2 and all that. You don't really want to be behind another car, the dirty air will mess you up there, but if you can catch up to another car and then down that long back straight get a Slipstream, there's a lot of time to be gained there. So it might be quite hard to set up a good strategy on that. You know, if you've got a teammate in this race, maybe you could figure something out there, but I have a feeling most people will just be driving and trying to find a gap.
Yeah, it's definitely a track where I think mind games can come into this, especially with the technicality of the track as well. But yeah, jumping on board with Karsten Havdal through turn 1 up over the crest of turn 2. Heavy on the brakes on the outside curb, trying not to take too much of the inside curb in order to keep the car all the way over to the left, in order to keep the foot pinned as we come through these S's. Through the fast left-hander, probably the trickiest corner on the circuit. See Karsten just having a little correction there as he slides up and over the outside curb. Heavy on the brakes in the 50-meter marker point, turning right, braking again as we go uphill as the corner tightens again up onto the right. Need a good exit here as it's the longest straight of the circuit. Short time to breathe. Looking for the right hand side of the track, 100-meter board or just after. Can run this curb a lot. Push the car all the way out to the outside of the track and then getting that car rotated over the crest as the track sort of falls away and appears. And across the start finish line, 1:19.4, so still not quite there for Karsten. So I make a few mistakes through sector 1.
There is a lot of time to be gained on that inside curve in turn 1. But you just got to be really careful because it is also quite easy to get the off track.
So Charlie O'Kane into the 118s, the 118.9. John Wigo Lawson now. Holding temporary pole position. 118.7, 2 tenths quicker. Tom Jen, cheers for the gifts. Welcome in. How are you doing, Sean? Welcome back. Yeah, Sean, the sessions are at the same time every week. But that could be changing slightly with the leagues, but I'll keep you posted on that. Yeah, talking of the leagues, so the site is live at the moment, released for sort of early registration. If you head over to refinemotorsport.com, you'll be able to sign up for an account and be able to register for leagues. I think after this race, I've set the page to go live. So there's 3 leagues that are going to be available starting over the next couple of weeks, and that is going to be the MX-5 Super Cup, which is the legacy MX-5 NC around some of the iconic British tracks that are part of the Super Cup series here in the UK. We also have the Wellens MX-5 Cup as well, which is the American ND, which is the 4th generation Mark IV MX-5s. We also have the British GT as well, which is, again, some good British tracks, including Spa. And we have the GT World Tour as well, so they're the 4 leagues that we've got set up, ready to start taking registrations for. It will be a first come, first served. There's going to be limited spots for them. But if you do want early access and an early notification as to when they go live, if you head on over to refinemotorsport.com and register for an account over there. Yeah, session seems to be filling up quite a bit now. We currently have about 22 drivers in the session, 11 drivers with lap times on the board. Simon Andre Livingston goes fastest with a 118.6. As we're watching Charlie O'Kane side by side down the back straight. Austin Havdal definitely going to be using that to his advantage, getting into the slipstream, timing that nicely.
Yeah, a bit of slipstream advantage, just a shame that the rest of his lap looked a bit scruffy. We'll see whether he does improve. Fortunately not. Now Charlie following, maybe waiting to see if Charlie can get a tow.
So just another shout out to Jacob Reed as well, who is joining me here in commentary and helping with the stewarding today. He also does stream over on TikTok and Twitch as well. If you want to go give him a follow, it's Burnout Racing 7. Usually streams daily from sort of 5:30 PM in the UK.
Yeah, usually about that. By the way, apparently I'm very quiet.
Very quiet. Let's... Yeah. Okay, bear with me. Let's just boost you up to... just give me a radio check.
A radio check.
Radio check again.
Radio check.
Yeah, that should be fine.
Cool.
So, just over 5 minutes of quali to go. 15 drivers with times on the board. Nico Valderrama, a 1:31.5. Definitely a lot of pace to find. I'm not sure if he had an incident during his first time lap. Seems to be so. 12 seconds off the pace. It's Louis Groulon now, fastest at the 118.3. Chacho, cheers for the follow. Welcome in. So yeah, I think a lot more drivers have done since my last briefing, so I will do a quick briefing, sort of last 2 minutes to go. As Karstein Havdow now takes that P1 spot, 118.3.
And then spins.
If you are wanting to get involved with these sessions, we host them every Monday at 8 PM UK time. Details for every session will be in the Discord. If you are wanting to come and take a look, Discord link will be in the bio of whatever platform you're watching on. It's Ethan Turner black flagged. I'm assuming that be due to a speed infringement in the pit lane. How are we doing all? I will just quickly go again just because a lot more people have joined since my last briefing. So yeah, first of all, welcome in guys. We've got Road Atlanta at GT3 this week. Quite a busy session. Joined here by Jacob Reed, who is also helping with commentary and stewarding for this race. So any incidents will be reviewed by him and he will be issuing penalties where necessary. What I will say is it is a rolling start. Obviously try to keep it clean, but we will be reviewing things as they go. If we bring out a safety car, which we may do in the event of a large pile-up or multiple cars being involved in an accident, then you'll be required to just sort of sit behind the safety car until we bring that in. There is unlimited fast repairs, so you will be able to pit to get your damage fixed. Obviously we'll have to wait for the pit lane to open before you can do that. If we are behind a safety car, you will be given a wave around flag for any drivers that are a lap down as well, so lap drivers need to pass on the left. If you are sat behind the safety car, if you sit on the right. The other thing as well, refinemotorsport.com has gone live as well, so if you are wanting to register for the upcoming leagues, head on over to refinemotorsport.com and all the details for the upcoming leagues will be over there as well. Feel free to come join the Discord as well. There's a couple of drivers that are currently set in the Discord if you want to come and say hello. The link for that is in the description of this session. But yeah, enjoy the race guys. It's a 1 hour race, mandatory pit stop due to the 50% fuel limits. And yeah, see you on the other side. Enjoy. I'm not sure if I mentioned, but we are also live on Twitch and TikTok for the commentary and live stream as well, if you guys want to come take a look before or after the race. So that's that out of the way. 20 seconds to go in quali. Karstein Havdow topping the timings at the moment by a fraction over Louis Grulon.
Well, that's a big hit into the wall there.
Yeah, I think that was deliberate from Charlie O'Kane.
Hello everyone.
like someone said, any information on the radio, I will try and watch. I will try and be fair with you. But if you argue with me, I might increase the penalty, but don't knock them out.
Jacob Reed saying it how it is.
When don't I?
Telling the drivers what's what. As Oliver Rodriguez Santos does manage to last second claim that first, that P1 spot with 118.2, 1/10 quicker than Karsten Havdal. Sort of came out of nowhere. So yeah, we do have quite a few new drivers on in today's race. Ken Backen with his Norwegian group as well, all within sort of the first half of the grid by the looks of things. So a quick look at the timing. So we have Oliver Rodriguez Santos starting on that P1 spot with a 118.2. Next to him is Karsten Havdal with a 118.3. Louis Goulon starting on the second row in P3. Next to him, John Wiggo Larsen from Norway. P5 is Simon Andre Livingston with a 118.6. We saw some pretty good lap times from him, followed by Fernando A. Jaquez. As I'm just waiting for my time board to update, there we go. Gus Jonker starting in P7, followed by RD Mercedes in P8. P9 is Thomas Fox. P10, Charlie O'Kane. P11 is Isaac Boys. P12, Ethan Turner. Ethan Turner, I think, struggling with his setup early into the practice session, so hopefully we'll see some good racing from him. He's done a really mega job over the last couple of weeks. P13 is Alexander Vingmark, and P14 is Ken Backen. P15 is Morton Dale. Next to him is George Ward in P16. P17 is Mikel Marquez Fernandez. Next to him is Sebastian Rogier in P18. P19, Luke Cunninson. Starting alongside him, Nico Balderrama. And I think the other two drivers are yet to set a lap time. So 20 cars on the grid today. What do we think the strategy is going to be, Jacob?
People already in chat talking about it. 9 litres need to be saved to make it a 1-stop. We're looking at most likely a 2-stop. Unless we get maybe a couple of safety cars, might bring that into a 1-stop. But we'll have to see. We've seen it before. I think some people not taking advantage of pitting under the safety car. Maybe if you're at the front of the field, it might not be worth losing all of that track position, especially at this track, because it's quite hard to overtake. But when you're mid-pack or maybe fighting near the back, a pit stop under the safety car can be very useful.
As we do pull away for our warm-up lap behind the pace car. Welcome in, Brian Munn. Thanks for the follow, and we are at Road Atlanta today. So yeah, I think we saw through qualifying that those lap times don't really come straight at you with the first or second out laps.
It's quite a short track, this, so it does take a bit to get the tyres up to temp. like a few laps to get them in the proper window, depending in terms of how much tyre warming you do. You know, some drivers here you can already see doing a fair bit of weaving, some maybe not. Sometimes it's a bit harder actually in these more mixed ability grids to do that. Like in most of the top split races, or the first few split races in the dailies, everyone kind of understands you go single file for the first bit of the outlap. You have more space to warm your tyres. What you'll tend to find is some lower iRating drivers won't understand that. So, as we already have a spin on the outlap from someone warming their tyres.
So, just for viewers as well, a couple of drivers you're seeing all running the same liveries. So we do have two big teams there. As Carsten Abdal almost just takes out Oliver Rodriguez Santos as he reclaims that sort of starting position. But yeah, a couple of teams. We do have the RA Sim Sport team, which is the Norwegian team. I always call it the Ken Bakken team because I don't actually know who owns it, but I think he's the one that sort of introduced them to the refined motorsport racing space. We also have another team here with Oliver Rodriguez Santos, Luis Grulon, Fernando Jaquez, and RD Mercedes as well, all running the that black and purple Ferrari livery that you're seeing. And then we obviously have the regular culprits as well, so Karsten Havdal, Charlie O'Kane, we have George Ward here as well, Nico Balderrama as per usual, Ethan Turner. But the safety car has gone into the pit lane. Oliver Rodriguez has gone early, already claimed a big gap. Karsten Havdal already getting swallowed up by Louis Grulon, looking to fight back. As the top three have already broken away. Karsten Havdal losing out early there. Simon Andre Livingston already fallen slightly behind with a 1 second gap. I've not seen many incidents so far. Everything's looking fairly clean as we get through the first lap, as there is something happening at the back of the field.
We've just had 3 cars off, and that is a caution.
So big accident down into, I can never remember the name of the corner, but the one that always throws you out when you get over the curb. Safety car. Just bear in mind we are not at full race pace at the moment. Keep an eye on the cars ahead. Incidents are being reviewed.
So that is RD Mercedes in the Mustang. In turn 5, he tagged the rear of Thomas Fox, causing a spin, which then caused a pileup.
I'd usually wait for the end of line penalty until they reclaim. Otherwise, if they go into the pits, then it becomes a little bit odd. So safety car is out. We did get about 5 corners of hard racing. Louis Grulon manages to take the P2 spot away from Karsten Havdal. Maybe caught napping during the start of the race. Sebastian Rogier made up 7 places within 5 corners in the Mercedes AMG GT3, up to P10 at the moment. Let's see if we can take a look at what might have happened. So Ethan Turner may have crashed. Let's have a quick look at what happened with Ethan Turner. I think it was just a bit of avoidance damages. I think there was not as much damage as there looked to be, but I think there was just a lot of cars involved.
A lot of cars spinning. I think the damage may have been fairly minimal. I'm just going to double check my decision, but I am thinking that RD Mercedes is going to be getting a not a drive-through. I think we'll just give him an end of line. It was fairly light contact to the rear, but it was still contact to the rear mid-corner.
I will leave that decision up to you, but I think that was somebody getting on the radio. So, 2 cars into the pit.
Okay, just let me know when everyone's set their pit stops and I will apply the penalty.
Yeah, I am just checking.
Incident between RD Mercedes and common spot turn 5, lap 1. Incident responsibility, RD Mercedes causing a collision. End of line penalty will be applied when the field gets up.
Yeah, all cars are caught up. If you can apply end of line or apply penalties where necessary now before the safety car goes in, it should be coming in this lap. And well, is it just RD, is it, that we're looking for?
I just realised I'm talking on mute, but yeah, it's just RD and I have applied the penalty. RD, please drop to the back. RD, if you can do that a bit quicker, please. We are going green.
No one seems to be overtaking it. Okay, if he doesn't, then just issue him a drive-through. Okay.
I think he's pulling over to try and let people through. And he's towed. I think he just gave up.
Cool. Okay, we are back racing again. Oliver Rodriguez Santos not as lucky on this breakaway as the race start, as Louis Grulon all over the back of him, followed by Karstien Havdal and Simon Andre Livingston. As the front 7 drivers all within close proximity of each other. There's a lot going on. Karstien Havdal.
As we have
now
a spin from Ken Bakken and a spin from Ethan Turner at the back. Once again in turn 5. That corner's really catching people out.
Yeah, it's definitely one that does catch people out. As we see George Ward now under pressure from Nico Balderrama and Alex Bingmark. Nico Balderrama and Alexander Bingmark side by side down the back straight. Nico Balderrama to the inside, has that inside line. Manages to hold Alexander Bingmark off there, but now put in George Ward under pressure.
That's another big crash. I didn't didn't actually see who it was. It's Sebastian Rogier losing it in turn 2, in zone, and into the wall.
Oliver Rodriguez Santos getting a little bit lively through turn 5. Does get an off track. Brought Lewis Grulon back into play nicely into the slipstream down the back straight.
Whilst that is going on, we have also had another 2 cars crash at turn 5. Simon Andre Livingston and Thomas Fox, both on their own accord it seems, while Thomas Fox avoiding another crash, but also he was going wide as well.
So we have 2 little battles up at the front here. Oliver Santos and Louis Grulon fighting for the P1 spot. We also have Karsten Havdal under pressure from Gus Jonker as well for that P3 spot.
I assume we will leave the safety car considering we've just had one, but it was a multi-car collision and pile up in turn 5.
You need to bring it out, then let me know. I can bring it out.
They're all towed now. Incident's gone. It's probably a last lap now.
So yeah, obviously more drivers, more opportunity for crashes and collisions and more drama during the race. It's a while since we've brought out a safety car for GT3. As Ethan Turner looking for a move around the outside of Thomas Fox. Thomas Fox really not wanting to give that one up, forces Ethan Turner onto the grass, but Ethan Turner comes back through turns 10A and 10B for the position, now up into P13.
Yeah, down the straight, Thomas did try and kind of run Ethan onto the grass a bit. It was very borderline, but almost blocking. So a little warning on the radio there.
I'm all for wheel to wheel. But Thomas Fox not giving up that easy. He's putting Ethan Turner back under pressure all over his bumpers. They come through turn 5. Ethan a little bit more cautious through the exit curb. Thomas Fox looks like he's got the run. Goes to the inside. Jesus, just back out there a little bit.
He looked for a big dive and then I think realised that it definitely wasn't going to happen there. He really needs to wait until this straight gets the slipstream. Tell you what though, that Porsche, it's got legs. That slipstream not really doing anything, Thomas.
Oliver Santos and Louis Grulon equally competitive lap times. Louis Grulon does go marginally faster that lap. So what on track battles do we have? We have Morton Dale and Nico Balderrama fighting for P6. There's George Ward now under pressure from Isaac Boys in the BMW M4. There's George Ward a little loose coming over the exit curb of turn 7. It's going to give Isaac Boys the opportunity to make a run here. As he looks for a late lunge up the inside and is able to not make that stick as George Ward fights back as they go side by side through the last corner. It's the start finish straight. Isaac Boys just has to fall back in behind there. Good defence there from George Ward.
I think Isaac being way too cautious and leaving way too much room, and that just lost him out on getting that move done. But he's right back on the back of George now.
So just as a side note, I am keeping an eye on track limits, because obviously we don't have any penalties for track limits, so we're going to issue based on what we see. I've seen a couple of off tracks, Nico Balderrama, Gus Jonker and Isaac Boys. He's kind of settling down a little bit as Nico Balderrama. You see how late he was on the brakes there. Managed to close that gap right up onto the back of Morton Dale in the McLaren 720S.
I think the slipstream doesn't seem to be that effective from what I'm seeing. I was expecting it to really draw cars up to each other coming into the chicane, but it's not really seeming to do that.
I think it's one of those where this track is such a... you need the downforce during the first sector that you sort of lose out when it comes down the back straight. So as soon as you get into the slipstream, it's great, and then you pull side by side, and I think we saw that with Isaac Boys and George Ward, where Isaac Boys sort of pulled out the slipstream and they just lost all the top end. Couldn't get that pass done.
If you're looking for on-track battles, I would go to George Ward, Ethan Turner and Thomas Fox. Looks like that's about to get quite spicy.
So
Isaac
George
Boys getting
Ward
through in turn 2, and that put George right on the back foot, and Ethan and Thomas brought him right up to the back foot.
Ethan Turner side by side for George Ward. Ethan Turner preferring the left hand side of the track down this back straight. Ethan Turner getting that done, but Thomas Fox also looking to find a way through as well.
Yeah, very
George
opportunistic there. He saw Ethan going for the move and followed him through.
George Ward losing out in that battle, as it does look like we have a driver off into the grass. Alexander Bingmark, not entirely sure what happened to him, but we will have a quick replay of that one.
It was actually contact between him and John.
Yeah, my replay didn't quite pick that up, so we can have another look at that. It might have also been a bit of netcode, but
Yeah, there looked like there was some netcode on that contact.
so Alexander Bingmark off into the grass again. Karsten Havdown now just sort of running his own battle. Gus Jonker, I think, was put under pressure from Fernando A. Jaquez, allowing Karsten Havdown just to sort of break away, but he's running solid in P3 at the moment. Ethan Turner, that is a warning for track limits.
Yeah, that incident between Bingmark and John. Was it John? Yeah, John Larson. Yeah, it's a bit borderline. I think maybe a bit more John's fault, but hard to call, especially with the netcode involved. So I'm going to say racing incident.
As Gus Jonker under pressure from Fernando Yaquez, who does claim the P4 spot. Gus Jonker looking to fight back, goes up the inside into turn 1. Reclaims that position. Gus Jonker says not today. Fernando Yaquez has to fight another lap. John Larson and Charlie O'Kane fighting for the P8 spot. John Larson losing 4 positions since the start of this race.
He's on a bit the back foot at the moment, and I've been watching this battle for a little bit longer. That sector 1 going into turn 1, turn 2 is where he's losing the most time. Seems to kind of gather up the rest of the lap, but that is definitely bringing Charlie O'Kane into this fight. Let's see whether he wants to make a dive here. A bit too far back. A really good exit out the chicane, and they're going to go side by side into the last corner. This is always a bit sketchy. Are they going to make it through? And they do.
I think the inside of that curb just compromised his run there a little bit, but Charlie O'Kane able to make that stick. John Larson looking for outside, turning into the inside for turn 3.
Yeah. Inside in turn 3, even like kind of doing overtakes in turn 3, it can be done, but it's very risky.
Front runners still walking away with this at the moment, currently with a 4-second lead over Karsten Havdal. Do we think this is a true battle, what we're seeing here, or do we think this is team tactics and strategy paying off for these front runners?
Nah, I know what teammates are like. This is a ego match right now. I can certainly say if I was in this race with my teammates, I wouldn't be working together.
Just keep an eye on the back marker, who does just move out the way for these 2 drivers. Just as a sort of looking at from the outside in, Louis Groulon does look to be the cleaner, or I'd say more smoother driver of the pair. Oliver Santos making a few mistakes during the early stint of the race.
Yeah, he has a bit of a snap into the chicane. That's going to really compromise him now. But he does manage to get a good exit. That's what he needed to recover that.
So just keeping an eye on some of the off tracks. So Ethan Turner, final warning for track limits. Next off track will be a drive-through penalty.
How many off tracks is he on?
Enough. I keep seeing his name flagging up for off tracks. Gus Jonker, first warning for track limits.
Louis got the run here. He had the better corner exit. He's right in the slipstream now. I think if the move's going to happen, it's going to be here. And there's contact. And maybe they are working together.
No idea what's
I
going
think
on
you need
over the
to go
radio.
on race- You need to go on race control. Race control radio. Going to
Yeah, yeah.
Ethan Turner, final warning, track limits. Next off track, that's a drive-through, and I'll find out which the other one was. Who was the other one?
Gus Yonker for first track warning.
Gus Yonker, first warning for track limits.
Yeah, I don't know why everyone even let me change it.
I think I may have been wrong. On the back straight, Louis was giving a bump draft to Oliver, so I think they are working together here.
Yeah, this is something that I felt like I noticed towards the beginning of the race, is that Louis Grulon was what appeared to be a slightly faster, more consistent driver. So it did kind of surprise me that he still sort of sat behind him. I think he's had plenty of opportunity to pass, should he need to. Whether we're going to see some sort of team strategy and then swap positions during the second stint of the race, or... But either way, I think they've built up a 7.5 second gap between themselves and Karstien Havdal. So we are seeing a bit of a battle further down the field between John Larson, Charlie O'Kane and Ethan Turner. Ethan Turner now side by side again with that signature move around the outside late on the brakes down into 10A. Does manage to get that position up into P9.
He was looking a bit rough at the start of the race, Ethan. I think he's gathered it up, figured out how to drive this track.
Flash of the lights there as he tries to make a move on John Larson. There's a bit of wheel-to-wheel contact, nothing to complain about just yet, but one to keep an eye on. Ethan Turner does just have to back out of that. John Larson able to fight another lap. Ethan Turner now under pressure from Charlie O'Kane as Ethan Turner runs wide. Charlie O'Kane takes the position, loses out to Thomas Fox as well. I mean, even though that was an off track, I think he sort of lost out himself there through. Yeah. Ethan Turner looks like he's angry driving at the moment, pretty much flashing every driver that he comes across. As we see the battle between John Larson, Mortendale and Charlie O'Kane. John Larson leading this one. Charlie O'Kane peaks to the inside but backs out of it. So a little bit of traffic. I'm not sure who the back market is.
Luke Cunnison, I think he is getting out of the way.
Yeah. Ken Backen with the black flag. Thomas Fox all over the back of Mortendale.
How's he getting a black flag? Slow down.
Essentially. So Oliver Rodriguez into the pits. Louis Grulon able to run the extra lap. So Louis Grulon provisional first place at the moment. Probably going to have to give it his all on this lap. As we see another driver into the pits. No, that is just, Oliver Rodriguez Santos. With the 18 second pit stop. Is that tyres or is that just fuel? It's been a while since we've done GT3. I can't remember what the pit stops are.
If you haven't got IMSA regulations, that would just be fuel. This
Okay.
fight between Mortondale, Thomas Fox, and Ethan Turner is spicing up now.
Thomas Fox round the outside, beautifully done. Mortondale fighting back. Thomas Fox manages to make that stick, finds the grip on the outside of turn 6 and turn 7. Ethan Turner able to follow his way through as they're almost 3 wide down the back straight.
That Porsche has some straight line speed there. Ooh, that's a hit right there between Thomas and Morton. Luckily, it looks like they've all survived it.
Don't think that's quite anything to look at just yet. Ethan Turner coming off massively down that back straight. I think the straight line speed of that Porsche is definitely something else. As Luke Cunnison now into the pits.
As Ethan goes wide in turn 3, causing a checkup with Thomas Fox.
George Ward may have had a spin, seeing a 2x on track. As Mortondale, I'm interested to know if that was contact between Mortondale and Thomas Fox.
No, nothing doing really with it. Yeah, kind of just drove into the back of Thomas and spun himself.
Oliver Santos all over the back of Alexander Wingmark. Oliver Santos is going to be losing precious time here to Louis Grulon, who's still running away in first place. Santos needing to make that move stick, which he does manage to do.
Some of the drivers here pitting just after the 30-minute mark might be able to make the end.
Alexander Wingmark does lose the rear into turn 1, does manage to keep it out the wall. So a lot of drivers into the pits. So that's something we've not really spoke about during today's race, and that is fuel strategy and who's the likely culprits to be doing it. Louis Grulon obviously doing a mega job with fuel, still currently yet to make pit stop. I think all top 3 runners, Louis Grulon, Costin Havdal and Fernando Jaquez, yet to make a pit stop. I think Costin Havdal and Fernando Jaquez are now into the pits. Louis Grulon is still out.
So they've made it to about 32 minutes into the race. Obviously that's past the halfway mark, but we did have the safety car. So the question is, in that second stint, are they going to be able to do this final 28 minutes plus 1 lap? Could be very tight on fuel here to try and make a 1-stop. The drivers who pitted around the 32-minute mark, I think they're really going to struggle. A couple of drivers, I think Charlie O'Kane is on his 3rd stop now. He pitted on the safety car, so that will likely be a benefit to him.
It's Charlie O'Kane now into the pits. I was going to say that was going to be a give the position back.
With the incident between Charlie and Nico.
Yeah. I think it was Charlie and... was it Charlie and Nico? Yeah.
Yep.
So Charlie Kane actually loses his front bumper there, does benefit from the fast repair. It's going to be tight on the exit between a couple of drivers here. That's Louis Grulon now into the pits. Interested to see where he's going to come out. Luis Santos is now coming down the start-finish straight. We know that he's going to have lost a lot of time fighting for position. They are going to be fighting on the exit. Louis Grulon able to maintain that lead. That battle between Santos and the back marker, or I think it was, if I can remember right, it's costing him 1.5 seconds.
I'm thinking either a time penalty for Charlie O'Kane, or maybe you might want to be a bit less harsh. But
are we talking about the one with penalty. Nico and they sort of bounce and
Charlie
I think he was trying to give.
Door.
I think he tried to give the position back afterwards anyway, but was heading into the pits.
Yeah, I think a time penalty. I mean, we could be a bit meaner and give a drive through, but if you have the ability to do a time penalty, a 5 or 10 second there.
I don't think either of them really lost anything from it.
Nico lost a few places. I think he lost a fair bit of time. It's definitely on Charlie.
I'll leave it up to your judgment.
I'd say 5 second penalty if you can do a 5 second.
Or Charlie O'Kane.
Yep.
So Gus Jonker in P4 at the moment. Under pressure from Karsten Havdal. Karsten Havdal has lost a couple of positions during the pit stop. He was running P3 quite comfortably.
I wonder whether maybe he took tyres?
Charlie O'Kane into the pits.
That again, maybe he's trying to serve his penalty now. I think he thought he had to serve that as a stop-go.
Yeah, this is why I think when we get to League Racing, we have to Discord brief him, we can go over all this stuff. Might be worth just checking in with him just to see what come up on his screen. As Gus Jonker goes wide into turn 1. Karsten Havdal now able to fight back as a side-by-side through the S's. Gus Jonker able to hold on to that position, but I wouldn't count Karsten Havdal out of this just yet. Karsten Havdal looking for the late break into turn 10, but a little too far back to make anything happen there. Welcome Racing and welcome into the stream, dude. Louis Grulon, I think doing a little bit of fuel saving here. I think using that in order to bring Oliver Santos back into the tow. Drivers now possibly looking to their fuel calculators, seeing if they can make this tank stretch to the end of the race. We have seen this catch new people out in previous races.
So we did actually have Ethan in the background. He's unfortunately at turn 5 again. He's spun it off the curb into the wall.
Is that is he in the pits for this one?
He might be. He's got some front damage.
Oh, we'll see somebody else in the side of the barrier there. I'm not sure who that was. That might have been Ken Backen. Doesn't look to be any damage on the car. Charlie O'Kane says, I have a GT3 curse. Gus Jonker still under pressure from Karsten Havdal. Really wanting this position back. Karsten Havdal does look to get the better exit out turn 7. Bumper to bumper with Gus Jonker. Pulls to the outside. Too wide down the back straight. Karsten Havdal manages to make that stick, goes extremely defensive to the inside, doesn't want to give Gus Jonker the opportunity to come back from that. Gus Jonker round the outside, switch back to the inside, reclaims that position back into P4. Really good battle here between Jonker and Havdal for the P4 spot. It's Fernando Jaquez now 118.1, fastest lap on the board. So we have a back marker. I'm not sure who the back marker is here.
That's Ethan Turner after pitting for repair after his spin. So a bit of a check-up.
Does let them go through into turn 6. As Karsten Havdal looking for a move down the inside, and that was never going to stick. Karsten Havdal getting incredibly aggressive now with these moves. Ethan Turner wanted a piece of the action with the straight line speed in the Porsche in order to reclaim that position, which he is entitled to do so if he is the quicker driver. Came back and says it isn't his day. Yeah, we saw you coming off into turn 7. Didn't really catch what happened, but we saw you rejoining the track. So just as things are settling down a little bit for those that are in stream at the moment, we have just launched the website refinedmotorsport.com. You can sign up there for an account. You'll be given access to all of the leagues that you'll be able to take part in as well and join in these type of sessions. Yeah, we've currently got 4 leagues set up, and that is I think 2 MX5 Cup Series for both the Legacy and Use, the NC and ND, Mark 3, Mark 4 MX5s. And we also have the British GT and World GT Championship as well, with some British tracks and some global tracks. So a couple of different leagues to take part in. If you want to come and ask some questions about it, feel free to come and join the Discord. Discord link is in the bio of whatever platform you're watching on. John Larson now back into the fight for P6 against Thomas Fox. Definitely seeing a couple of different lines through turn 1.
Yeah, some people really run it right out to the outside. Camber of the corner makes it. Sometimes if you run out too wide, it kind of drops away. You need to start losing grip out there. I know some of the top guys as well. There's a service road in the entry of turn 1. They will go right onto that in the braking zone to open up that corner. Whenever I do that, I usually spin. So.
Karsten Havdal on the attack again, looks for a move around the outside, but might be getting the switch back here into turn 1, side by side into turn 2. Again, unable to find, I think, the grip and the pace around the outside. Gosjonka able to hold on again as they swing down through the S's. Karsten Havdal all over.
Lines.
Little tap there from Havdal just unsettles Jonker. I thought Havdal was going to get the run there. Again, does look to have that better exit coming out of turn 7. Karsten Havdal moves to the outside as we come down towards turn 8. Who's going to be later on the brakes? Karsten Havdal goes to the centre of the track, goes a bit defensive. Gus Jonker fights that back again, late on the brakes to the inside. Unable to make that stick, and Karsten Havdal does go through.
I think it's about time for that move. Gus has been playing a really good game to that chicane. Like setting up lines, setting up switchbacks in a really good kind of defensive mindset, but I think there was only going to be so long he could make that last.
And that is a track limits for Ethan Turner. And a drive-through penalty.
Karsten runs wide there. That's got to open the door. See whether Gus looks to try and get back ahead.
If you can raise a track limits for Karsten Havdal as well.
That's the final.
Did you say something on comms because I didn't come through?
No, I was just saying first warning or final warning.
Oh, first.
So I thought here, with the pace difference, that Karsten may be able to pull away from Gus now that he's finally got through, but it's not quite happening yet.
Can we do a first warning for Fernando Ajakas as well? So 12 minutes remaining.
I think some people here may have been gambling on a second safety car. So it will be interesting to see who is going to have to take that second pit stop and who has fuel saved enough to make it to the end.
So yeah, for those watching this format for the first time, we have had a number of GT3 races running this sort of 50% fuel for an hour-long race, and what tends to happen is we see a couple of fuel saves, some people doing a one-stop, some people getting caught out in the last couple of minutes and having to make a splash and dap for a single lap. So that's what we're talking about here with the strategies. I think Ethan Turner looks to have retired from this race.
I think a few too many incidents that final drive through there. Might have been the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, it's one of those. I'm looking down at the race log and just seeing 1x after 1x every lap from Ethan Turner. And I'll be honest, there's a few that I let him off on just because I didn't see it as gains, but definitely something that Ethan needs to reel in for his next race. As Louis Grulon and Oliver Santos now approaching another back marker. It's the back marker of car number 1, Alexander Vingmark. Who does move to the outside just to let these two guys go through. First warning for George Ward too.
George Ward, first one, inspector.
Alexander Vingmark a little slow to give way to Oliver Santos down the back straight. Oliver Santos now lost potentially that slipstream. Ethan Turner does clear his black flag, does look to have
Nope, he is
retired
disconnected from the session.
and disconnected. Yeah, Carson Havdown now making already up over a second almost on Gus Jonker. I think it really does go to show that you can be a fast driver, but if someone's good at defending or you struggle to make an overtake, you can really get caught up. It can really slow you down. You can lose a lot of time. I think through all of that, Carsten Havdal's also lost out to Fernando Jaquez as well, massively. The gap's like 25 seconds now. It's George Ward and Simon Livington. Livingston to the inside, later on the brakes, does manage to make that move stick. George Ward now down into P13. So big shout out to Nico Balderrama as well. He started 19th on this grid and is currently running in P8 at the moment. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to see, and something that we don't see in what we're broadcasting is each and every driver's fuel load that they currently have.
I have a feeling there are some people praying for a safety car right now, but I think it's probably too late in the race for us to throw one out now.
So Morton Dale, first warning for track limits. George Ward, final warning, track limits. So final 6 3.5 minutes of the race. Sun is setting, but not quite set. Do kind of miss the full night transition during these races. I think it definitely mixes things up a little bit.
Gus Jonker back within 0.4 of a second of Cassian Hubdal. He's sticking with him, but not quite enough to make a move. I think it seems he's fast in all the wrong places. He is faster than Castian in Sector 1, where there's not really an opportunity to overtake, and then losing out before the back straight, where is the main opportunity to overtake.
See Morton Dale late on the brakes into turn 7, runs off the track and into the wall. So if you are watching the stream, if you stick around to the end as well, we will take a quick look through the highlights of today's race, all the crashes, some of the overtakes. As Oliver Santos into the pits, Louis Goulon does stay out. Obviously was able to run another couple of laps over his teammate. Have to see how Louis Goulon does throughout this last 4 minutes. Is he going to have to pit again?
Or Gus Jonker pushing really hard now as he started to make mistakes, as he almost loses it on the exit of the chicane. But yeah, I think we are coming up to this final pit window for some splash and dash.
I think that's a Gus Jonker final warning for track limits. Oliver Santos back out into traffic, is just behind Karstien Havdal. You know, Karstien Havdal not want to shy away from a battle, as we have seen for the last sort of 12 laps here at Road Atlanta. Santos passes the back marker, wants to stay on the tail of Havdal. Oliver Santos with another off track there. Just going to keep an eye on Oliver Santos to see how hard he is pushing, whether he's abusing these track limits.
Oliver Santos really getting up to the back of Karstien now, but the question is, does Karstien still have to pit, or will he make it? I think Karstien is regular in these races, so he does know how this fuel strategy usually goes. So if he's been smart, he would have tried to fuel save. I'm not sure how feasible the fuel save is, but it looks like we may be having a few people who are going to manage it, with 1 minute 40 left in this race.
Nico Valderrama into the pits for the final time of the 4.5 second pit stop. Small splash and dash. Unable to make that one stop strategy. Louis Grulon still out on another lap. Gus Jonker now into the pits. Oliver Santos really needs to get past Havdal. Definitely getting caught out by the fuel strategy.
I think Louis Grulon may have got maybe getting an extra lap in, so we'll see whether that throws the spanner in the works for anyone.
Louis Grulon either come around to take the white flag, which looks to be what he's managed to do. So final lap now for Louis Grulon. Question is he going to make it to the end of the race? We don't know. Casting Havdal really under pressure from Santos. Havdal goes or stays to the inside, stays defensive. Santos to the outside, gets the switch back through 10B, up and over the crest, down into the final corner. Santos looks to have made that stick, but Havdal not wanting to give this one up.
I mean, the fact that he was defending that makes me think he knows that he has the fuel to make it to the end. So I think he's got this strategy right for a one stop.
Just seeing if any drivers are going to get caught out by this. John Larson now into the pits. That safety car allowing a couple of these drivers to make that one stop. Louis Grulon spent the entire race battling with Oliver Santos. Spent the entire first stint sat behind him. The first 15 or 16 or so laps. Does take the checkered flag. Comes home to finish in P1. Fernando Jaquez in P2. Oliver Santos still fighting for Karsten Havdal. Santos up and over the grass for the last time, down and across the finish line to finish in P3. Getting caught out there by that last minute pit stop. Karsten Havdal comes home to finish in P4. Thomas Fox now in P5. Not really seen too much Thomas Fox. He had a couple of good battles early on. Across the line to finish P5. Isaac Boys in the BMW. And he's 22 seconds behind. Crosses the line to finish in P6. And John Larson. Some really good battles between John Larson, Morton Dale, Ethan Turner towards the beginning of this race. Comes home to finish in P7. I think the rest of the field were caught by the white flag.
Nice there, Gus.
Just want to say a big thank you to everyone who joined today. I will be posting the results. In fact, it'll be the first set of results that get posted on the website since its launch. So yeah, if you want to take a look at that, head over to refinemotorsport.com, and I'll be posting everything there. If you are not in the Discord as well, come say hello in the Discord, and I'll also be sharing all the upcoming leagues, hosted races, and things going forwards as well. If you do want to watch this back, you can go have a look at the YouTube channel, Refined Motorsport, and you can watch the entire replay for today's stream as well over there. Cheers guys, really good racing, and hopefully I'll see you again next week. Cool, so that does finalise today's race. Let's have a quick look at the race results. So yeah, 44 laps today. Louis Grulon and Oliver Santos battling. Not sure if that was battling or that was just team strategy during the first stint, but Louis Grulon ultimately does come out on top, finishes in P1, followed by Fernando Jaquez, who claimed P2 in the last couple of laps there, as Oliver Rodriguez Santos gets caught out by the secondary pit stop. Karsten Havdau unable to defend that P3 spot in the final moments, comes home to finish P4. Thomas Fox in P5, Isaac Boys P6, John McGlarson in P7, Gus Jonker in P8, P9 is Alexander Vingmark, P10 is Nico Balderrama. Didn't really see too much from Nico during today's race, but again, top 10 finish, really good stuff from him. Morton Dale comes home to finish P11. P12 is Simon Andre Livingston. P13 is George Ward. P14 Luke Cunninson. P15 I think this is where we start hitting some of the DNFs. Ethan Turner retired from this race. A couple of penalties there through off tracks, and I think he also touched a few barriers from what I heard Jacob mention. Ken Backen in P16, Charlie O'Kane P17, Sebastian Rozier in P18. RD Mercedes retired early on, I think due to the conflict of being given the penalty, finished at P19. And a non-starter, Mikel Marquez Fernandez in P20. What are your thoughts on the race, Jacob?
I mean, we actually had some really good racing there. Not really too much need for me to get involved in many incidents, which is always nice. Yeah, some good side-to-side battles. And it seemed like most people got the strategy right, which was unexpected. I thought we'd be seeing a lot of people taking a splash and dash.
Yeah, definitely think there was some really good midfield battles. P1 battle as well, unfortunate for Santos. Loses out another position at the end there. I don't know if there's anybody in the Discord that you want to pull in for a post-race interview, or
George is the only one left.
Do we want to talk to George?
I didn't really see him much.
Yeah, he kind of got swallowed up a fair bit with a lot of the battles that were going on. I'm not sure what's going on with the replay, but it doesn't want to start showing. But yeah, so this is Ken Backen losing the rear. This is the obviously a quick incident reel of everything that's happened during the race. Ken Backen losing it 11 minutes into the race. Big damage on the front end there, which needed to probably pit for repair. We got Sebastian Rozier as well in the Mercedes AMG.
Did see this one. That's a very odd spin.
That looks to be maybe like just running too small rear wing.
Maybe
just loses
cold
it
tires.
through the.
I think he had cold tires at that time.
Just the elevation change, being on throttle, maybe.
Yeah.
You have Simon Andre Livingston. I think that's what initiated the crash. Tags the wall. I think a lot of drivers tried to move out the way, so it's actually a little bit later on in the race. But yeah, that curb really a tricky one to master. Hits the wall, loses his rear wing. Alexander Vingmark. This is that collision that we saw a little earlier on, which is sort of net code, maybe a bit wheel to wheel. I think Simon just came off a little bit worse.
Yeah.
George Ward, it wouldn't be a race without a George Ward crash, right?
Definitely not. Odd one at that as well.
Takes a little too much curb. unsettles the car. Again, it's little things like this probably ironed out in the practice sessions. Morton Dale, this is with I believe Thomas Fox there in the McLaren. Again, just unsettles the car over the curb.
Yeah, there was some slight contact to the rear of Thomas Fox there, which I think initiated the spin, but also a bit too much curb at the same time.
Alexander Bingmark just losing it on his own. I think he was the one just before this incident where he's on the radio saying, "Hey, Oliver, stop flashing me. We're on the same lap." Luke Connison he's actually in the Twitch chat at the moment.
I did not actually see that incident. I think that was with one of the lap cars.
Yeah, Luke, I know you're in chat at the moment. Yeah, if anything like this happens again, if you can raise it on the radio as well, just because it's kind of hard to sort of see everything that's going on in the race. And we can obviously address those sort of things. Ethan Turner was putting on a real fight for the first 2/3 of the race, but just losing it. Turn 5 catching a lot of drivers out, loses it, ends up in the wall unfortunately. Ken Backham was in the chat earlier in the session just saying that I think he wants to go McLaren next time. I think he's really struggling in the Porsche. Really clatters that curb, sends the front wheel up into the air, and luckily keeps it out of the barrier. Another crash here from George Ward.
Is that the same thing again?
So the previous one, he looked like he hit the curb.
Did he hit both walls?
He did.
That's pretty impressive, to be fair. Those walls are quite far away from each other.
George Ward definitely becoming a dynamo lawnmower there. But yeah, I think just looking at the race results, I think driver of the day today goes to Nico Balderrama. Starts P20, makes its way up to P10. I mean, that is a potential driver of the day. I think another driver of the day is potentially our winner, Louis Roulon, as well, managing his fuel strategy perfectly, keeping Oliver Santos at bay. Who would you give driver of the day to?
It's a tough one. I think I'm going to go Louis though.
So
he managed it.
So I think, so I think out of these three, and I'll let you decide this. So Louis Roulon. My personal thing would be, if it was Louis Roulon, it would be down to his strategy and his battle with Oliver Santos. Essentially starts P2, P3 finishes in P1. Another driver to potentially give this to would be Karsten Havdal and Gus Jonker for their battle towards the end of the race. I think that was very good, clean and aggressive racing, I think, from both drivers. And then fourth on the list would be Nico Balderrama for his position game P20 to P10. So I'll let you decide who you think that should go to.
I'm going to say Louis, but it would have been Gus if he managed to hold that place. His defence was really good. If he'd managed to hold that place, I would have given it to Gus.
So there you have it. Louis Roulon finishes P1 and also walks away with driver of the day as well. Really good racing. We are going to end the stream there, and we will be back next week for more GT3 racing. So if you are wanting to participate in that, either pop me a message on social, come and join the Discord, come and have a chat to me over there, or equally come and sign up for the website refinemotorsport.com. and all of the upcoming races and leagues will be posted over there as well. Cheers guys for watching, and thanks for all the subs and follows, and I will catch you all again next week. Take care all.